Slovakia is full of beautiful places to visit, but most people just spend their time in Bratislava or maybe High Tetris. So in this video, I'm going to go over 6 cities that I absolutely recommend you to visit. With these cities, you will experience a bit more of Slovak culture. So let's get into it. First, I want to touch on Trnava, which is not too far actually from Bratislava. It's approximately a 30-minute drive from Bratislava. Now, Trnava has rich history. It's actually the oldest recognized city in Slovakia, dating back to 1238. Now, Trnava is nicknamed Little Rome. Now, it's known as Little Rome because in such a small space in central Trnava, they have 11 churches. Yeah, so quite a few churches to say the least. And the old town here is beautiful. It's colourful Baroque style with Renaissance architecture. Now, I absolutely love Trnava. Taking walks along the streets here is really beautiful. And the architecture, everything is so beautiful, just really nice. It's like taking a step back in time in a way. And it just really, really nice. And the vibe here is amazing. Plenty of cool coffee shops. It's the 7th largest city in Slovakia, with approximately 69,000 people living in Trnava. So it's definitely a place that I would highly recommend visiting, and it's well worth a day trip. Like I say, it's roughly half an hour from Bratislava. So if you're in Bratislava anyway, why not go to Trnava? That being said, let's move on to the next stop, which is Trenčín. Now, this city is known for its beautiful castle here, which sits atop the hill looking over the old town. There's a lively main square here with plenty of coffee shops, a beautiful fountain, and again, you're met with beautiful architecture here. So again, it's another place that's well worth visiting and exploring, even for the history, for the coffee shops, but also to walk around, and it's really nice, and the people here are very friendly. Same with Trnava. Now, Trenčín is the 9th largest city in Slovakia, with just under 60,000 population roughly. You have more Baroque buildings, and again, you're stepping back in history. And it's really interesting here because there's Roman inscriptions carved into the castle rock, which dates back to 179 AD. Trenčín also hosts music festivals. Pohoda Festival is here, which is a summer music festival. So if you happen to come in summer, then maybe you can even see some music. That being said, let's move on to the next on our list, which is Zvolen. On this list, it's the place that I've spent the most time in, with probably the next one on the list being a close second. Now, Zvolen is located incredibly well. It's right in the center of Slovakia. It's central Slovakia. So it's a really good spot where you can actually quite easily continue go on to the east. You can go to the west, go to Bratislava on the west. On the east, you can go to Košice, and you go north, you're heading to the High Tetris, and south, you can head towards Hungary and Budapest, which is approximately 2 hours from here. Zvolen is really great. If you're a nature lover, you're going to absolutely love Zvolen because there's tons of green spaces, there's tons of parks. You also have Hron, which is a river that runs around Zvolen. You also have a view of the Low Tetris as well. So, which is the smaller mountain range of the Tetris, which is beautiful. And along with that, you also have history here, because on top of the hill within inside Zvolen is Pusti Hrad, which is an old fortress. Now these castle ruins are one of the largest in Europe, and it's really interesting. Whilst quite a bit of it is damaged, it's not standing, you still can see the grandeur. You can imagine how extraordinary it would have been. And let me tell you, the views from Pusti Hrad is beautiful. You can see Zvolen and the surrounding area. And the central square in Zvolen is lovely. You've got plenty of coffee shops here, ice cream places, there's 2 churches, and the castle, Zvolen Castle, is at the end of the square, which I highly recommend visiting and going inside. The vibe here is extremely relaxed. It's a cool place to be. And I also recommend, if you want a view and you want some drinks, then City Cafe is a rooftop bar which overlooks the square. And it's a really nice spot to have some drinks with a view. I'd also recommend, if you're looking for some ice cream, to check out Chowocka Smrzlina. Hopefully I haven't completely butchered the name, but it's a lovely ice cream shop and they have tons of flavors there. I would highly recommend to try Zvolen. Yes, there's an ice cream named after the city, Zvolen, which I'd strongly recommend. All the flavors though I've tried are really nice. With that said, let's move on to our next place, which is very close by to Zvolen, Banská Bystrica, which, as I said before, is probably the second most on this list that I visited. Now, Banská Bystrica is a great place to visit, especially if you're going to go to Zvolen anyway, because they are very close together. Within a 10 to 20 minute drive, within a 10-15 minute drive, you're in Banská Bystrica from Zvolen. Now, Banská Bystrica, the main square is lovely. You've got a beautiful fountain in the main square, and there's also the town hall tower, so you can go up to the top of the tower and you can get a view over the square and the surrounding area. It's really nice, and I recommend doing that. It's really nice, and I totally recommend doing that. Banská Bystrica is a historic mining town. If you see Banská in a name of a place in Slovakia, Banská is basically mining. So it basically means mining town, or it used to be mining town. So for instance, there's another place on the list later, which also has Banská, and yes, it used to be famous for mining there as well. And Banská Bystrica is important for history because the Slovak National Uprising started here. Yes, in 1944, the Slovak National Uprising originated in Banská Bystrica. And with that in mind, there is a museum dedicated to the uprising here in Banská Bystrica, which I highly recommend. It's really interesting to find out more about the history. Banská Bystrica is the 5th largest city in Slovakia as well, so around 80,000 population here. So another great place to visit, and it doesn't feel crazy crowded or busy. I think you'll really enjoy your time here, along with Zvolen. Now we move to Bardejov, which I probably completely butchered. I've never actually visited yet, but I have a friend who's from here and it looks incredible. So I wanted to include it in the list anyways. So Bardejov is a UNESCO heritage site because of the beautifully preserved medieval town. The main square is straight out of history books. Now, this town is situated in the northeastern part of Slovakia. You're very close to the Polish border, around 20 kilometers away from the Polish border, and approximately 140 kilometers from the Ukrainian border. So it's a well-positioned city if you're looking to go to other countries, maybe from here as well. Like I say, I'm still yet to visit this one, but it's firmly on my list, and it looks like an absolutely incredibly beautiful place to visit. That brings us to the last stop on the list, which is close by to Banská Bystrica and to Zvolen. It's Banská Štiavnica. Now, Banská Štiavnica is another city on the list. These are all cities, by the way, and Banská Štiavnica, along with Zvolen and Banská Bystrica, is central Slovakia. So you're actually kind of in between both Bratislava, which is all the way on the west side of Slovakia, and Kosice, which is on the eastern side. It's not quite fully to the eastern border, but it's on the east side of Slovakia. Now again, it was once a mining town, a mining city. Now it's a beautiful, picturesque city and another UNESCO heritage site actually since 1993. Banská Štiavnica is also the birthplace of the world's largest love poem, where on benches all over this city, you'll see quotes or extracts from that poem, which is really interesting actually, and it's a good way to learn a bit of Slovak. This city was first established in the 13th century, so again, another place that rich with history, with the first settlements here dating back to the 3rd century. So all of these on our lists are incredibly charming places where you can find a bit of everything, from history to some nature and relaxed vibes here. All of these places are really away from busy hustle and bustle. So if you're wanting to go to somewhere a little bit quieter and you can see more of history about and culture of Slovakia, then these are the places you absolutely should visit over maybe Bratislava. And even Košice, because Košice can be quite busy. That being said, these are the 6 beautiful, charming places I highly recommend if you want to see more of Slovakia. So let me know, which one of these are you most interested in? Comment down below. I'm eager to see what your thoughts are. And if you've maybe been to any of these before, get your recommendations in on what places in these cities people could visit. And maybe they can add that to their itinerary. That being said, thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this one. Leave a like if you did. And if you want to see more content on Slovakia, I have a playlist right over here, so feel free to check that out. That being said, thanks for watching, take care, and I'll see you on the next one. Ďakujem za kliknutie na toto video. Čaute.